y'all, welcome back to Farm Dream. My name's Fagin, and I have been completely blown away by your support and feedback on my sourdough bread video. I'll link it below if you haven't seen it. Yeah, just absolutely blown away. It's meant so much to me to see people watching it and to read comments, and it's been extra to me if you've ordered Sourdough Starter from me. I honestly expected some people to be interested in it, but not this many, so I'm grateful. And in celebration, I thought that we should make some delicious doughy sourdough cinnamon rolls. So if you need some sourdough starter, maybe you have some that you don't like or you don't have any at all yet, I sell my sourdough starter. I'm gonna link it below in the description box. And then also, if I'm saying the word sourdough starter and you're like, what's she talking about? I'm also gonna link a video below where I dive deep into sourdough starter. I'll link my bread video below so you guys can check that out. And yeah, I have a lot of sourdough resources on my channel, so look at them if you need them, and if you're here just for the cinnamon rolls, let's dive in. You are gonna need the following items to make these cinnamon rolls. You're gonna need a large mixing bowl, you're gonna need a bench scraper, a sharp knife, a rolling pin, a baking dish of your choice. I like circular ones for circular foods. And last but not least, you are gonna need a mixer to mix your frosting. So if you want delicious cinnamon rolls for breakfast, the night before, you are going to make your dough by mixing 160 grams of whole milk, 115 grams of unsalted butter, melted, 1 large egg, 100 grams of active sourdough starter, 24 grams of granulated sugar, 360 grams of all-purpose unbleached organic flour, and 5 grams of fine sea salt. You're gonna mix these together until they're combined, and then you're gonna set them in a warm place for approximately 30 minutes. I like to put mine in the oven that is turned off but has the light on, as it usually gets a little bit toastier in there than it does out on my countertop. After 30 minutes, you're going to turn out your dough on a clean, floured surface, and you're going to give it a nice knead to make sure that all your ingredients are completely combined. So unlike making sourdough bread, there's kind of no rhyme or reason to this knead. You just want to make sure everything is mixed together, and once it is, you can pop your dough back in your bowl, cover, and put in a warm place about 70 to 80 degrees overnight. The next morning, whenever your dough has doubled in size and is nice and fluffy, you're going to clean a surface. Make sure you check out my video on how to clean your kitchen as a sourdough baker. You're going to generously flour that surface, and you are going to turn your dough out onto that surface. Next, you're going to roll your dough into a rectangular shape, and if it comes out as an oval, like mine always does, that is completely fine, don't worry about it. But you want to make sure that your dough is about ½ an inch thick. Once your dough is nice and rolled out, you are going to spread ½ a stick of melted butter on every inch of it. Then you're going to cover the surface of your dough with granulated sugar, and I don't measure this part out because really it's up to you. If you want sweeter buns, you're gonna do more sugar, and if you want less sweet buns, you're gonna do less sugar. I prefer sweet, so I cover every inch of the dough in granulated sugar, and I give it a nice press into that butter and that dough so it doesn't fall out of my dough when I roll it up. And then you're gonna repeat this action with cinnamon covering every inch. Press it in, and once the surface is covered in your delicious ingredients, you are going to thin out the top edge and the bottom edge of your dough. You are now going to roll it into a cylinder. You're going to cut off the ends that have funky seams because I promise you, it feels wasteful, but these aren't gonna come out delicious anyway. So cut them off, get rid of them. And then you're going to cut your cinnamon rolls, and I usually do about 1.5 inch to 2 inch chunks all the way down my dough. Once you have your cinnamon rolls cut out, you are going to oil your baking dish. I like to use avocado oil because it's kind of tasteless and has a high smoke point. And you are going to set your beautiful little rolls in your baking dish. You are now going to cover them and put them back in the warm spot for about 2 hours to let them do their final rise, and soon it'll be time to bake. We are almost there. When your 2 hours have passed and your cinnamon rolls are beautiful and fluffy and ready to be baked, you're going to pop them in a 350-degree oven for about 35 to 40 minutes or until they're nicely golden brown. While your cinnamon rolls are baking, you are going to make your frosting by mixing a block or 250 grams of cream cheese, about 2 tablespoons or 28 grams of softened butter, about 120 grams of powdered sugar, and 28 grams of milk. You are now going to mix these ingredients together with your hand mixer, and if you prefer a thicker frosting, you're going to add more powdered sugar, and if you prefer a more liquidy glaze, you're going to add more milk. I personally prefer a thicker frosting, so I just add enough powdered sugar until my frosting is the perfect consistency for me. When your buns are done baking and they are a nice toasty golden brown, remove them from the oven and give them a little bit to cool before adding your frosting. Once you've added your frosting, give the whole pan a nice little sprinkle of flaky salt. I know this sounds kind of funky, but I promise it is absolutely delicious. And enjoy your cinnamon rolls. They're so creamy and salty, and obviously sweet, but like the creamy salty part is what gets me. The outside is kind of crunchy, crusty, and then the inside is so doughy and soft, but they're just so good. Clean Plate Club. And that's it, you guys. That is how I make my sourdough cinnamon rolls here at home. If you want to make your own at home but you don't have starter, like I said, I sell starter. I'm linking it in the description box below, so head over there to buy your own so you can try these at home. They're creamy and decadent and delicious and make for an amazing weekend breakfast. So I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you learned something, and leave a comment below if you have any questions about anything at all, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.